Welcome to Roadshow's AutoComplete, your weekly roundup of the biggest news in the automotive world. This week we have news on all-electric vehicles from Lexus, Harley-Davidson, and Lotus, as well as some new car Emoji. But first up, Corvette. One of the longest-running jokes in automotive journalism has finally come true, and now we're all living in a world where the Chevrolet Corvette has a mid-mounted engine and no manual transmission option. It is a weird time to be alive, my dudes. Still, despite not being available with 3 pedals, and ignoring the protestations and wailing of angry baby boomers, the new Vette looks pretty awesome. Its base model Stingray has a dry sump V8 that makes nearly 500 horsepower, and it also features a bunch of cool goodies like GPS-activated nose lift and lots of lightweight composite materials. We're most surprised at just how much GM's new technological tear will cost, because it's offering a ton of performance for a sub-$60,000 entry price. Toyota has been doing the alternative fuel vehicle thing for a while. It pretty much single-handedly popularized the hybrid electric vehicle and is likely the biggest producer of hydrogen-powered vehicles for consumer use in the world. That's not enough though, and Toyota's luxury arm Lexus is going a step further with a new commitment to offer an electric version of all of its models by 2025. Now, bear in mind that electrified means not only battery electric vehicles, but also hybrids, hydrogen, and plug-in hybrid models. Volkswagen is investing big time in the Ford-backed self-driving startup Argo AI. How big? Well, how about $2.6 billion? Yeah, billion with a B. Also of interest is Volkswagen's move to let Ford utilize its new built-to-purpose MEB electric vehicle architecture for future Blue Oval EVs. That's going to be a huge leg up for Ford, who at this point seemingly doesn't really have much in the deck for electric vehicle development. Well, we've been talking about the Harley-Davidson LiveWire for ages. I mean, our own Tim Stevens rode the prototype like half a decade ago, but the production version is finally here, so we sent Tim to Portland, Oregon to see if the wait and the nigh on $30,000 price tag would be worth it. The answer to that seems to be, well, kind of. The bike itself is well built with nice components, but at the end of the day, despite the staggering off-the-line performance, 30 grand is still a lot to ask for something with 2 wheels. Shh, listen carefully. That sound you're hearing is Roadshow's own Andrew Kroc cursing the heavens and rending his garments because Volkswagen announced this week that it would be killing off the Golf Alltrack and Sportwagon models at the end of the year. Now, if you're not clear on why this is a bummer, then you've clearly never driven the current generation of Golf Sportwagon, and let me tell you, friend, you're missing the hell out. The good news for our Mr. Kroc is that he'll likely have a little padding for his retirement account should he choose to take his Sportwagon to bring a trailer in a few years. Tesla's been selling the idea, literally, of full self-driving for years now, and despite countless people having plunked down many thousands of their hard-earned dollars on the technology, the best we've been able to manage is navigate on autopilot, which, is good, but it's definitely not full self-driving. Now that you're suitably riled up against the man, we want to add that Tesla's CEO Elon Musk announced that the price of full self-driving would be going up by $1,000 on August 16th and would only continue to go up from there. Thankfully, to soften the blow, he also mentioned that Tesla's long-touted advanced summon feature should be going live to the public around that time as well. Most electric vehicles on sale today have a single-speed transmission, because the massive instant torque that an electric motor produces makes the need for low gear ratios redundant. It also has the benefit of simplifying the vehicle's design, engineering, and packaging, but that isn't to say that an EV couldn't benefit from having more gears to choose from, which is precisely why ZF has been working on a 2-speed transmission meant specifically for EVs. I know, 2 speeds sound quaint in an age where 10-speed automatics are becoming commonplace in normal cars, but ZF is saying that the overdrive gear on its auto-shifting 2-speed could be good for a range boost of up to 5%, or, on the other side of things, increased performance, depending on how, the vehicle manufacturer is feeling. Well, Lotus went and did it. It unveiled one of the best-looking hypercars of the last decade, and we'll be damned if it's not fully battery electric. The Evija, or Evija, or Evija, is allegedly packing around 2,000 horsepower into its diminutive frame and will cost multiple millions of dollars. But with looks like those, it's kind of hard to argue the price. Now, all the jokes about an electric Lotus aside, listen, we're sure they didn't let anyone from Lucas anywhere near the car lest they inadvertently cursed the whole project. We're genuinely excited to see how the tiny British sports car manufacturer goes about delivering on the Evija's promise. Thankfully, now it has some sweet Chinese backing money, thank you Geely, and the results should be good. Both the Subaru Outback and Legacy are getting a little love from the mothership for the 2020 model year, and that's a good thing. The cars are getting a massive interior overhaul with much improved infotainment that includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility as standard. There's a bunch of boring base engine stuff that changed too, but we're extra excited about the 260 horsepower XT trim levels that should make these practical people movers fun to drive. But the best part of it all, and perhaps the most newsworthy, is the fact that despite making all these huge changes to the vehicles themselves, Subaru isn't making any massive changes to their prices. I think I just heard the whole Pacific Northwest let out an audible sigh of relief. Lexus is known for making super reliable luxury vehicles, but did you also know that it made a couple of super gnarly undercover off-roaders? Sure, the Lexus LX is based on the wildly capable and lovable Toyota Land Cruiser, but maybe you didn't know that the GX is also a V8 powered, full-time four-wheel drive having, body-on-frame construction monster. To celebrate that, Lexus built what it's calling the GX Off-Road Concept, which is a 2019 GX 460 that's had many thousands of dollars of totally awesome overlanding gear bolted to it, and at this point, it's basically just hardcore adventure porn. It makes its global debut this week in Colorado at the FJ Summit event. Ferrari's 812 Superfast has just about everything you could want in a supercar, including a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine that makes damn near 800 horsepower. The only thing it doesn't really have is an unimpeded path for that V12's howling wail to get to your ears. Ferrari has realized this, and according to some rumors from Ferrari chat, it's gearing up to release a Spider version of its Super Coupe. Now, surely there are those of you who will whine about the lost performance of a convertible, but even if it turns into a wet noodle without a roof, it won't, it'll still have more performance than you can handle, pal. Ferrari. Did you know that Mercedes makes and sells a pickup truck? Yeah, it's called the X-Class, and it's actually pretty cool. It's basically a reworked and heavily tweaked Nissan Navara, and it's sold in Europe, Australia, and South Africa, among other places. Although sold may be a really strong word, because it's not exactly a volume vehicle for the old three-pointed star. That's probably why Mercedes is allegedly planning on killing it off after this model year. Now, what we think Mercedes really needs to do is take the new G-Wagon, which is excellent, and make it into a truck, like the Jeep Gladiator. Tesla's Chinese Gigafactory outside Shanghai hasn't really been under construction for that long, but it's already shockingly far along its way to being ready to build cars. Or at least that's what Morgan Stanley's team of analysts found when it toured the facility recently. In fact, the Morgan Stanley people estimate that the Gigafactory will be producing around 35 to 40,000 cars by the end of 2019. That's impressive, but not nearly as impressive as Elon Musk's estimates for production there, which are, shall we say, more grand. Cars built in China will initially be assembled from complete knockdown kits or partial knockdown kits, and then will transition to full in-house production sometime in 2020. And finally, it's looking increasingly like emojis are going to be the cool new things for brands to latch onto, because Ford has successfully petitioned the Unicode Consortium, aka the group that creates and approves new emoji, to add a pickup truck emoji in its next big update in early 2020. In addition to that, Electrify America also found itself trying to add a little charge to World Emoji Day by petitioning the Unicode Consortium to create an electric vehicle charging emoji. Now, the art that Electrify America sent over is a little, shall we say, old-fashioned, but it would still be awfully convenient to be able to toss that emoji in an Instagram post or a tweet while you're musing about life as your Leaf charges. That's it for AutoComplete this week, but don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified of all the new videos on Roadshow, and we will see you again next week.